It's time to get down to the brass tacks. My name is Mel Sams and I'm the Managing Associate of Sams CPA. And today I have the pleasure of responding to one of our viewers' questions regarding a video that we did previously. It's a great question, and that question is regarding cannabis accounting and what we can and can't do. So the question was, how do you justify the use of 263A when the IRS Chief Counsel Advice Memorandum number 2015-04011 takes the position that a taxpayer who traffics in Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 controlled substance must determine cost of goods sold using the applicable inventory costing regs under 471, and that the IRS does not allow 263A? That's a great question, and before I answer that, I'm going to just take a moment to say, under Section 263A, it says that a taxpayer is generally required to capitalize to inventory, in addition to their direct costs or their cost of goods sold, certain indirect costs and mixed service costs that would typically not have been required to be capitalized under Section 471. But essentially what that says is 263A was something that surpassed some of Section 471 that says that a person manufacturing or producing has to incorporate some of those indirect and mixed service costs into their inventory so that they can't manipulate their bottom line. And so it's an accurate representation of their true cost of goods sold. But my response to that question and why I said what I said would be twofold. Number one, when it comes to U.S. tax law hierarchy in terms of the sources and how authoritative they are, it should be noted that IRS positions are at the bottom of that list next to secondary sources. IRS positions would be private letter rulings, determination letters, and Chief Counsel Advice memorandums. So by definition, these are customized for a single taxpayer, and no other taxpayer should rely on these. However, they do give us some insight into what that particular person in the IRS was thinking, or the people involved in a particular audit, what they may have been thinking or their interpretation. But again, in terms of the sources and the quality, they're the second last next to secondary sources. So we can't by definition rely on these wholesale for everybody. And then number two, when it comes to that Chief Counsel Advice Memorandum number 2015-04011, there was another excerpt from that particular memorandum which states, and I'll read this to you, Section 263A is simply a timing provision that, quote, does not change the character of any expense from non-deductible to deductible or vice versa. So the way I interpret that is that to the extent that Section 263A applies to a producer or reseller of any kind of property under 280E, that capitalization of those indirect expenses under 263A does not make them be deductible, nor does it make them be non-deductible. It is simply saying that this person's following the rules of 263A, and it's a timing difference. It doesn't change the character of an expense to deductible or to non-deductible. So with all of that said, my reading of this and my position on that would be that I would follow Section 263A because it does surpass 471 on the matter of capitalizing indirect and mixed service costs, regardless of whether it's a 280E issue or not. This is a great example of, in the cannabis industry, there are a lot of emerging issues. Even though some states like California have had legal cannabis for many, many years, the fact that it is still federally illegal leads to these questions all the time where we're trying to figure out how to apply the code, how to give our clients the best advice. So thank you again to our viewer for that great question. I really appreciate it. That is what is going to help improve all of us and improve this industry, is through a discussion of these issues. So if you have any further questions, comments, or ideas for future videos, please let us know. We love to get your feedback. It helps us improve our programming and improves the content that we get out to you guys. If you would like to watch any of our other videos or be notified when a new video becomes available, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.